Well, good afternoon. We're here on the beautiful patio of Diane and Michael Duncan in lovely Mission Viejo, sunny Southern California. One of my favorite places, and Diane and Michael are out here in the temple. And good afternoon. I'm Gerald, and I'd like to share with you an invocation titled Our Prayer. I am the presence of pure divine love that transcends every human concept and that opens the door to all who ask for and will this love, all the love, light and life within our heart-mind consciousness. It is a long, lonely journey for those who are beginning to open to and accept and embrace heart-mind unity consciousness and awareness in every moment, in which we are all connected as one consciousness. And that means where we go one, we go all. So instead of focusing on judgment, blame, and right or wrong, we begin looking only for the very best that each of us can put forth in selfless service as we strive to begin thinking as universal citizens who are resilient and persevering enough to enable ourselves to make room for quantum shifts in our lives, which will be our greatest ally in times of extremes. We ask for and will for the great purifying power of the sacred fire to constantly enable us to maintain our invulnerability in every moment, so we can continue to accomplish the highest good for all, which has the ability to positively transform this world for everyone. This is about caring for each other and wanting to do everything we can to support the health and happiness of all humans and all life forms on our planet. We pledge allegiance to the earth and to all beings who inhabit it, and to our beloved planet, which stands for one world in light and life, in love, compassion, and empathy, with peace, freedom, and liberty for all, for the highest good of all. Thank you. We call this one our I Am meditation, and it's actually related to us by our indwelling I Am presence, Spirit Self. I am here now, and we are of one mind and one heart. I have patiently and lovingly waited for these moments where I can directly tap into your heart-mind consciousness, and where you can begin to recognize my still, small voice. I speak the language of the heart with the vibrations of love, for in this heart-soul space is the soil where we unite, my unique child and I am, where there are no walls that divide, no mask to wear, and no expectations to fail. You are completely open and desirous for my thoughts. You have entered into the temple of the Father, hallowed ground. Feel now the unconditional love pouring over you. For there is no greater love than this. You are my beloved, the one I have chosen, the one who, after our fusion, shall scale the universes together as one. Stay still for a moment. Close your eyes and feel these vibrations course through you. Tears begin to well into your eyes in reply to these divine vibrations. For what you feel is beyond words. Your whole world disappears, and there is only this moment, here and now, together as one. This is where I shall strengthen you to weather the storms of material life, because each time you come to me, you understand more about the eternal union, and that nothing in this world can bring harm to you. You are loved divinely. Your soul is safely sealed in my light, and you shall never be alone. If only more of your brothers and sisters would find this hallowed place within them, there would be no harm to give another, only love, peace, happiness, understanding, and joy. How could it be otherwise? For in this moment of our very communion, you are complete and in need of nothing. Ruminate very thoroughly and deeply about this feeling of completeness and what it means. There are so many on this planet who will never share in these tender moments of oneness with their indwelling. Yet I tell you, each one is capable. If only the will self would allow it and awaken from the conditions of unbelief. Each one on this world feels the yearning of completeness. Yet in frustration and desperation do they seek for material desolation, consolation, or the insatiable hunger of ego gratification that will never satisfy the divine love yearning of the soul. Only after great trial and tribulation, where all material consolations have been removed, do some awaken to the joyous wholeness and realization of completeness within. There is no need to suffer, my child, for your wholeness is complete, and you are reminded of this each time you break from the distractions of doing and come into the holiness of being. To be holy is to be whole and complete, and in the now present moment, in every moment. And only can you be this way in union with your indwelling I Am Presence, Spirit Self. Now that you know that you are whole and complete, you can go and do the will of the Creator Father in this world, because you lack nothing. Only the lag of time delays our perfection in God-likeness, but it does not prevent us from achieving it. Our decisions, actions, and daily experiences move us closer to finality, yet the speed at which we sail is determined by the quality of the moments that we live. I am, you are, we live, and love and live again. Now this is a change to what's titled, Welcome to a Brand New Day. We are joined together in unity consciousness on a brand new day for humanity and for our lovely little planet, Earth, or Gaia. Do we feel any different? Does anything that we see look different? Probably not, unless we are open to the awareness that something has changed, that something is someone, us. We have changed. Although our physical senses have not yet fully succeeded in actually communicating that knowledge to our human egoic mind in a comprehensive fashion, as yet, it will, when it figures out that the old ways of perceiving the world around us no longer are valid. It must and will adjust and begin to see the new world which we have now entered with new eyes, eyes that are enhanced with inner vision and wisdom of our soul and indwelling I am presence, spirit self. Sometimes it's easier to think of our soul as our soul child, along with our fusion mate in the future, indwelling I am presence, spirit self. Through our heart-mind consciousness, we are now entering or re-entering the world from which we emerged as spirit, as an ephemeral being of corporeal mind stuff, and entered a fetus at or just before birth. What has been true or believed to be true in the physical world is now in the process of fully morphing before our senses. And it is not so true that the physical world has changed. It is that we are now able to expand our perception, or will be soon. We promise. Beyond what was able to enter into our sensory awareness through our limited physical senses. That was then, this is now. No longer will we be limited to the five senses of hearing, seeing, touch, taste, smell. But these senses will be enhanced and enlarged to what is being heretofore considered psychic senses, or of clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, and intuition. We will no longer be dependent on those avenues of the five senses alone to perceive and discern what is going on around us. We will begin to wake up to the fact that our physical senses have been limiting, rather severely, our perception of what is really all around us, now, in this moment, in every now moment. We are in the process of expanding of becoming more of what we truly are, an extension or part of creation. We will soon discover that we are not limited to existing within the interior of our skin, and that we are not and never have been limited to a single body. We are part and portion of Source that has taken on an individualized awareness, so we might experience our Creator as being our Creator, so that we might experience all that is as being first separate and now unified with our heart-mind conscious awareness. Source is always changing and expanding, and as such desires to experience those portions of itself by temporarily feeling separate from it. Such an experience is now ending, and the cycle of return to a heart-mind conscious awareness of wholeness is beginning. If these thought forms seem to confuse our human egoic mind, perhaps we can choose to feel them in our heart-mind consciousness. We have never truly been separate from our Source, nor from each other. It was only a temporary state of feeling the perception of separation, so we might know and experience for Creator Source what it feels like. Now that our Mother, Father, Source and its children have actually experienced the state of separation, Source desires to flow with the cycles of our evolutionary ascension process and move into unity consciousness. Within this universe, all is now in motion to begin that dance of unity consciousness. Within the web of love, to reunite and flow together. The cycle is vast, and this universe is only one among many. We have much time to experience new worlds. But first, we can open to a new way of experiencing our own individualized awareness of a world around us. First, we can learn to open to each other. As brothers and sisters with one another, and with all life that surrounds us within our environment. We know that with the opening of our new senses and a renewed sense of connection, that we, as a people, as humanity, will begin to understand that we are truly connected to our beloved planet. We will intuitively understand with our heart-mind consciousness, with full awareness in every moment, and finally understand with our human mind that we are dependent on our Mother, the Earth, for our sustenance as a foundation of our physical existence. We are also dependent on each other as human beings for company, support, and community as we move forward and reclaim our precious Mother and begin to clean up and repair the damage that has been done to her in our moments of collective delusion. Did we think that we could escape to some other beautiful world when we have nearly destroyed this one? No. We need to understand that each of us has a responsibility to work with our planet, to find ways, new ways, to renew and allow healing to actually be accomplished with the gifts that will be unfolding within each of us. We know that we will discover new as well as old ways of being that are much more healthy for our own bodies and that of the earth. We will rediscover and use technology that has long been suppressed by those who did not wish to work with the remainder of humanity, with those who deem themselves somehow special and different. We are all special, but we are all members of the human race and inhabitants of a precious water world of unparalleled beauty. Unparalleled beauty, which will once more take her place as a living jewel of the universe, in which we all are a part. There is much healing to be done between disparate brothers and sisters. But soon enough, we will find that we can no longer use the games of polarity and duality. We will come together. We must come together as one brother and sisterhood, one being and an integral part of the universe and creation that surrounds us. Know that as our awareness, inner and outer, expands, that we will truly sense and begin to understand and see the connections that already exist between each of our physical bodies. We are not separate beings. We have never been separate beings, but have long lived in a state of thinking and perceiving that we are separate. Our thoughts have been mirrored back to us through our thoughts and full felt perceptions of being separate, open to being hurt, harmed, and helped and enabled by others. There are no others that exist separate from our own individualized awareness. That awareness will be undergoing a huge expansion until there is an understanding, intuitive as well as cognitive, of the reality of our unity and connection to each other and all life. I have completely lost my place, but I'll find it, never fear. Much change lies before us in this new world into which we find ourselves. Our friends and neighbors Perhaps those who we once saw as unfriendly may all appear to be unaware of the changes going on within, but we can be assured that they are aware on some level. There is an appearance of chaos in the world because this inner awareness is coming forward within the thoughts and heart-mind consciousness of all humanity. Foundations, institutions, laws, and ways of existing once thought to be unchanging and immutable are now being discovered as being rigid, unforgiving, and unable to adapt to suit the changing world. As the heart-mind consciousness of humanity expands, these institutions will change or will disappear. New ways of being and living will come forward. All will be in a state of flux for some time as we go forward into a brave new world of unity, conscious love, compassion, and empathy. It is up to each of us to open to the new energies that are all around us. Plants and animals are instinctively a part of these energies. They never left the world of nature, of connection, love, and light, as well as many of the indigenous elders. There will be changes in the appearance of our world as it adjusts to the expansion of our energies and awareness, for our consciousness is a vital part of this world. It is our thoughts that give form to what we see and experience around ourselves. We can choose to change our thoughts and the perceptions of those thoughts, and we will change our world. We are capable of far more than we currently believe. We are much more than we currently believe. In time, our perception will expand to incorporate greater expansion of awareness as we move beyond reliance upon the limitations that have been formerly our experience in the lower three-dimensional plane. Now, as we move into the fourth and fifth dimension and beyond, our senses will naturally expand and our experience will change. We can choose to be willing to open to these changes and to trust in the process. We can choose to listen within our heart-mind consciousness to our guides, our superconscious will. Reason with our human egoic mind, but do not seek to limit ourselves to what we have known before. We will be able to expand our knowledge by tapping into the vastness of divine mind, universal mind. As we learn to trust ourselves, which means trusting that which our mirrors, the many unique brothers and sisters we have met and will continue to meet, are only reflecting what we are projecting. We will be able to know what we need to know when we need to know it, because there will be no more limitations existing in this new world, unlike our limited beliefs and conditioning from the old world. There will be a period of adjustment that is necessary before we are able to fully navigate confidently through this great new world, but we know we will find much to discover, much to amuse and delight our senses and intuition, clairvoyance, clairaudience, all of those expansions, and much to share with each other. Go with our Creator's love. It is our divine birthright, and it is ever in our heart-mind consciousness within the eternal now. Thank you.